There's a lot of satisfaction in a wood pile. And a stack of wood is pretty nice. It's a good way to organize it. But if you want to step up your firewood game, you might want to look at one of these. Repurposing an old IBC tote into the ultimate firewood carrier. The best part about it is you don't have to touch the firewood as many times. The days are getting shorter and the nights are getting cooler. Our house was built with a large freestanding wood stove as a central piece. It isn't the only heat source that we have, but when I was at home I was planning on running the stove as much as possible to take advantage of the great heat output and to try to keep our bills down. According to the internet, in our area, January and February have lows in the 20s and highs in the 40s. But since we've been here, we've had cold spells where it didn't get above freezing for days, and I have pictures of Jafana walking across the pond. According to that same internet source, we only have about 15 inches of snow each year, but we also get ice storms, and ice storms bring power outages. I don't know how much firewood that we will use in a regular year. I don't even know what a regular year looks like anymore. In the past, we spent most of our time at work, and we were only home in the evenings or on weekends. But since the pandemic, we spend a lot more time at home, and it's hard to predict what the future will bring. The short story to everything I just said is that we need firewood, and we've been too busy building our house to worry about it. But now that the mornings are starting to feel cool, we can't ignore it anymore. We have a lot of downed trees on the property, and they're still solid enough for firewood for the wood stove. And we have several standing dead oak trees that need to be taken down also. This one was located at the entrance to our driveway and posed a threat to travel and property. It had to be dealt with anyway. We were able to take it down, clean it up, and stockpile it for heat. I'm not going to call it free heat. There's a lot of work and expense involved in processing the wood. BTUs. Cheap heat. We're pretty new to this style of firewood storage, so we're still trying to figure out exactly the configuration for cutting open the front that we like. I think on the next one we're probably going to leave the first two rungs on the bottom still intact to keep it from being able to spread open and make it more durable and last longer.
It has a knot, it does.
There you go. You gotta actually hit it though. You're gonna hurt yourself if you bounce that thing into your leg. If you're getting tired, you need to take a break.
I just started.
I suggested to Jafana that she take a turn with the splitting axe. Mostly I was just having fun, but she never shies away from a challenge.
Can I have somebody check something?
Oh, you've been cutting chickens on it.
Yeah,
There you go.
Trying
That's
to
it.
go.
Building technique is going to take time for anybody. The key is to actually do it.
Aim for the center of the wood.
You said aim to the outside.
So if you want to split it, you want to lay the blade right there or right here. And you got a knot over on this side, so that one's going to be hard. That one should be easier, especially since you've already started splitting it.
Right in the middle.
You got to figure it out. You got to get the spacing for it.
I think you gave me the hardest piece of wood.
I put 3 pieces of wood out there. You chose the hardest piece of wood.
There. I just need one right over there. There. Holy cow.
Figuring out the body mechanics involved and developing a good aim is something that comes with time and experience.
Okay. I'll let you guys out.
People like to say that firewood heats you twice. Once when you cut it and split it, once when you burn it. But you also have to pick it up, stack it, put it on the back of trucks, move it. There's a lot of touching involved with firewood. And anything that we can do to make our job easier is something that we need to do around here. I'm sure that it looks to a lot of people like we bit off more than we can chew. And that might be true in some aspects. But if you look around, you'll see that there's a lot more to this place than first meets the eye. Sometimes you have to chew a little harder to get what you want and get where you want to go. But the journey and the destination are both worth it.
Well, I wanted to use my razor knife for this. I'm going to take this bladder that was in there and I'm going to cut the sides of it off and use them as rain caps for a couple of these totes that we've set up for firewood. I don't have that razor knife, so I'm just going to have to use my pocket knife.
I take a little bit of pride in my perseverance. I think it's one of my strongest traits. It can also be called pig-headedness and stubbornness. And unfortunately, sometimes it wastes a lot of time. While the pocket knife was working, it was not very efficient, and certainly was not the preferred tool for the job.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Alright, well, went ahead and strapped these down to it. So you got a little, each one of these, I didn't do the calculations, I read online that it's about 1/3 of a cord. So I reckon if you stack them all together, it's probably, you're probably getting there, pretty close to it. I don't want to get crazy enough to start measuring the whole thing and calculating it out, but I figure that to be about 1/3 of a cord. So we've got about a cord of firewood that's prepped and ready to go and ready to burn right now. We have other standing trees out there that are dead. So I'm sure I'll need more wood to burn as the year goes on, and I'll get out there and I'll process more wood, but this will get us started and I can go ahead and focus back on the house now.